Welcome to the Smart Couple show and podcast, where we help you grow and develop yourself so that you can have an amazing relationship. All right. Saying yes to growth and development is going to get you a better relationship than saying no to growth and development. It's just my experience. Okay. All right. But today, this episode is for people who were told to listen to this podcast by their partner or ex-partner. Hey, you should listen to this. Okay, so this is for you. If someone's told you should listen to this and you don't really care, you're kind of doing it for them, and you're like, fine, I'll listen to one episode and give this a chance. So this is for you. Okay. All right. Number one, if this is you, if you find yourself in a relationship and your partner's really geeked out on the Smart Couple podcast, they're reading lots of relationship books and they're fired up, and you're not, then I'm talking to you. Okay. You're not fired up. You feel nagged. You feel judged. You feel criticized, and you feel like your partner is kind of on your case about learning this stuff. All right. So I can understand and appreciate what that must feel like to have someone shoulding you about the Smart Couple podcast. Probably doesn't feel great, and maybe you're coming in begrudgingly for them, or you're like, okay, fine, either just to get them off your back, or because you're maybe genuinely curious, like, okay, I'll check this guy out and see what he has to say. So number one, be skeptical. Okay, you're already coming in with your skepticism. Great, keep it up. Because that skepticism is going to help you decipher and determine if you want to listen to one more episode after this or not. All right. Okay. So next thing is you got to stay true to yourself and your values and what you care about in life. So imagine your partner is superimposing their values, which is, I like growth and development. I like relationships. I want the relationship to be a top priority. They're putting that on top of you. And you like sports, work, and you have other things that are important to you. This isn't one of them. Your relationship is important to you to a degree, let's say, but it's not like the thing for you. You have other things that matter to you, and understandable. So when your partner comes and puts their values onto you, chances are you're going to shut down or push back, get defensive. Yeah. So see if you can kind of push those values off you and just say, look, I hear that this is what you care about. It's not totally what I care about. I hear you. And I'm listening, and I'll give this a shot, and I'll check it out. And so educate them on what you care about, and let them know that, you know what, the relationship it's important to me, but it's not as important as money or politics or my job or my family, or make a list of what's more important to you than the relationship, as is dictated by your actions, and then educate them about that. Just be like, I hear you. Okay, because you're going to be forced with a decision here to basically kowtow down to their values and what they want of you and their expectations of you, which is just going to lead to you resenting them. Or you might actually be like, okay, wow, I do want to be with you. I'd rather have less drama in this relationship. I'd rather have you feel safe and seen by me. So, God, I got to make this more of a priority. You're right, honey. Thank you for the feedback. I'm going to challenge myself to make our relationship more of a priority for me. And you might have a lot of coping strategies that make that hard for you. Because you have intimacy fears, or again, it's just low priority, or you're seeing your partner as like a big pain in the ass, or kind of drama and stressful and like intense. If that's how you see them, it's not going to be inspiring you to move forward, right? But I'm going to tell you, this will change the dynamic. If you can decide, if the relationship's really important to me, I will make it a priority. And then you move your life around in such a way that your partner feels like a priority. And they're like, thanks. Wow, I feel safer now. I'm trusting of you. I feel prioritized. Those are the kind of things that they'll say to you when your actions show them that you care about the relationship. Okay, but if chances are the relationship's not that important to you, and it's stressful and frustrating, and you're moving away from the relationship. Other things are more important. Like, right, when I'm stressed out by my wife, for example, I might go to my laptop rather than go to her because the laptop is easier. She's harder. A human being is harder than a screen for me. Maybe you're like me. Okay, so hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say here. Be honest and be true to you. And be honest with yourself. And maybe it's time you end the relationship. Maybe because look, here's the thing, guys. If you're the skeptical partner that is like, whatever, I don't want to listen to this podcast, you can't expect a really good relationship. If you don't like me in this podcast, fine. But you can't expect a really good relationship unless you fucking work for it and you earn it and you put in the time, the money, and the energy to make it a great one. That looks like reading books, going to therapy, going to coaching, going to personal growth workshops, going to relationship workshops, signing up for the relationship school, listening to as many podcasts as you can get your hands on relationship and intimacy so that you start to become educated and understand and you have some tools, right? If you do that, it's going to move up and be a higher priority. You're going to have a better relationship, guaranteed. But you can't expect to have a drama-free relationship or a good relationship unless you earn it, all right? So to you skeptics, I hear you. You know it's valid, and see if you can find a way to be true to yourself, all right? One last comment. If you do listen to this podcast for your partner, the only way it's going to work is if you find the intrinsic motivation and inspiration to connect with this podcast on your own terms, not as a should. It'll only go in that way, right? Like, you remember in school when school and your parents told you to learn math or science or shit you didn't like, it didn't go in because you didn't care. You're like, this isn't important enough to me, right? That was me in school. When I excelled at school, like I did with art, for example, it's because I cared, I had a great teacher, and I was motivated from inside. No one was telling me, hey, you should take this class and you should be this way as a student. When they told me that, I was like, fuck off, and I went and studied my own thing. So you gotta, again, be true to yourself. Have the courage to speak that to your partner. It's not that important to me. Or, wow, I can see that it's not that important to me and I want it to be more important to me. Great. Then match those words with actions that demonstrate that you care. Okay? Okay, thanks for hanging out with us here. And on this short episode, particularly for the folks who feel maybe judged or criticized and are getting shoulded by their partners, that they should listen to this podcast. So this one was for you. Let us know if it was helpful. Give us some feedback. Send an email to us, info@jasongaddis.com. Thanks. All right. Now, if you are into growth and development, of course, and you want to learn and get some chops and some skills that can help you through conflict and help you listen better and communicate your needs more directly, then come hang out with us at the Relationship School Roots community, jasongaddis.com/roots to apply. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care.